Hey everybody, I'm Seamus.
I'm Josh.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Ritzgar.
This bar sucks. I only have one of every
agree.
drink.
He's got to be kidding.
No PBR on tap, no fine ladies, no somewhat fine ladies. No
Are these
less
things that
fine
you've
ladies.
read
Ah!
that bars have?
Quick, let me drink
I've
my
been to
beer
plenty
so I
of
can get my
bars.
wine.
I went in to use the bathroom one time at the Anteater Pub and Grill and borrowed some napkins. I know a guy ordered some onion rings there.
Hey, I need another of your gut punches or something.
Really? Well,
So now we're looking
You know what, I'll
for
just
some
like
guy named...
get all of the alcohol you have and put it all together in a big, giant travel mug.
So
And
when
I'll
he
go back
turns
to my
to look at
car.
us, when he turns to look at us there, I like to think we're like,
you get mad
just do me a face. I mean, favor. I meant favor. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to face. I mean, be rude. Face. Your face is ugly. Jesus Christ. Sorry. We got off on the wrong foot. Let me buy you a face.
I'm looking for someone. A cybersecurity
I
specialist.
really had no idea what that thing was first few times I saw it. It does kind of look like a port wine birthmark.
What do you do? Steal your girl?
I
He just
want
spilled ketchup all over his face.
And now he's
I want a
moving.
Or
conversation
tomato juice.
But you knew that
conversation
already, because a
option
man
that
like
lets you
Mr.
walk up to
Tom
him and
doesn't
go,
hire
dude,
idiots.
cool tribal tattoo.
This is the first place people like Van
Let's
Buren
see
All
how
of
he
your
reacts.
furs.
help. So stop wasting my time and take me to Tom.
You would think that a bar so associated with the triad would be obsessed with triangles and not pentagons.
You're wasting my time.
Nope, it's
Van
all
Bruggen is minor league
It's
player.
hexagons.
Tom knows who
feature.
he is.
Oh,
He just-
yes, that
Right,
number.
yeah.
He's got bigger things to worry about.
Oh, and Mumbles isn't here to make a joke about bees.
So I'll admit, this really sort of tripped me up here. So there's this old crotchety dude who's giving you a hard time, not letting you see the boss, and I did not see where this was going. But yeah, it was interesting.
I did notice something is up. It's like we're here looking for a guy named
Yeah.
Tong. Now, first of all, I remember Tracer Tong is a huge character in the first game. And so I figure, okay, I must be looking for a relation of his because,
You
of course,
expect me to
video
fall
game
for that?
worlds are very small,
Small
and,
timers don't
naturally
attract
can
this
be
much attention.
interconnected.
They don't have
Especially
multiple
anything
soldiers
built
staking out
around
their apartments.
the
Van
Illuminati.
Bruggen's pissed off somebody big.
Um,
and there's no way Tom
and then
will
here you've
ignore
got
that kind
this
of development in his
supposedly nameless NPC that you're having a
Smarter than you
boss fight conversation with. And so I kind of knew something was up here.
Like you
Yeah.
said, he's no fool.
No, it's there's an
But,
interesting...
Yeah,
Van Bruggen.
Go
it's
ahead,
kind of
Richard.
meta, though. It's kind of meta, though, that you're identifying. I'm having a boss battle conversation, so this
He's
guy
got
must be
forged
important.
identities, secure
It's not
Right.
something that in character would come natural.
all over the world.
Now it's interesting
He's always
contrasting,
off his identity, and I guarantee
what's this Tong's name? This is, I forget,
I
Daddy
don't know.
Tong. Daddy Tong
Tong
with
Just
his...
Tong.
Tong
Si
Si-hung. His son, Tracer Tong, was very anti-technology. And in fact, at the end of the original Deus Ex, he's the one that wants you to sort of blow up the internet and send us all back to the Dark Ages.
Oh yeah, that ending. God, that was.
Yeah. And obviously, Tong Si-hung here is very pro-tech.
Are you done?
Very much
So
in
this
with
is-
the AUGs.
This is actually one of the harder conversations, so I'm not totally sure which one to pick here. This guy
Although
generally
you got
likes
him
it
up
when
into the green.
you're not an idiot.
Use the armpit fart. Do it.
How about now? Will you let me in to see him now?
I've been on this island long enough to know that Van Bruggen can't leave.
I don't know, the entire time I played through this conversation, I was too distracted by the fact that and I know I brought this up last week, but it felt like Neuromancer, the bartender with one robotic fake arm.
Van Bruggen is still in.
I never noticed that, but you're right. Yeah.
And we put him someplace safe. What if I make you a deal?
And I think they kind of established the
We only
distance
need
between
Van Bruggen
Tracer Tong and his
jobs
dad.
after
I guess,
that.
I don't know if we're spoiling anything, but they sort of established that they're
And I
not really simpatico.
he is.
Really, they don't really agree with one another.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
even when you
yeah.
do a favor for Tracer, sort of, it's kind of indirect.
I want to advise Josh, but I know I'm on a 20-second delay. By the time I tell him what I want him to pick, he's already picked something else. So I can't participate in this. But this is, I did like this conversation. I found it to be much
Yeah.
harder than like David Seraph as well. Like this was for me the hardest one in the game. I think this might be the only one I failed.
Once he tells me what he knows. So if Tong lets me see him now, in the long run,
After I failed it, I reloaded it and tried again because I didn't want to
You
fail.
want to bring the Dragon Queen down on your head instead of the Dutchman's?
We talked about that during the David Seraph conversation, but the conversation mechanic really works, I think, overall. And both as a mechanic and as game writing, I think it works.
Yeah.
Yes. We've already been
I
over this,
think
how natural it feels.
Right, and I think it's
Yeah.
interesting to have conversation as a gameplay mechanic, as opposed to the BioWare method of just conversation is a thing to pass through. It's like walking down a hall in a game. And here,
Okay.
that was like
Wait.
having a gunfight.
Or you
Yeah.
can look at the... Go ahead, Rutscar.
Sorry, I was just gonna say real quick. That didn't go the same way for me. I actually got him to admit right there that he was Tracer Tong. Like I identified.
You
that
managed to
in
get him
Really?
to admit that he was Tong?
Yeah, like I accused
Huh.
him. Like I pinpointed that. Like, you know, stop playing games with me, Tracer. No, not Tracer, but you know. Sorry, I keep calling him Tracer. I think.
I know.
You know what I mean.
You just call him Tong. Yeah. I want to point out here that if you blow that conversation upstairs, you could break into the basement and
How about you tell me who
crawl through the vents, and that vent right behind Jensen, you will peek through it and see Tong here talking to somebody else, and you'll get all this exposition that you're getting right now. But you'll see him saying it to someone else. So that's what happens if you blow that earlier conversation. It's kind of neat, and I think most people just win the conversation and come down here and talk to Tong, as opposed to going through the vents. So not a lot of people see it.
And I think that speaks to the sort of role-playing that Deus Ex sort of encourages. It doesn't encourage role-playing in the sense of you get to describe what character you are and go play him. It's really more of problem-solving role-playing, where you get to figure out how to approach a problem more than a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less based on personality and more based on approach.
Sure is nice of you, Tong, to let me just walk around taking your credit chips, reading your skill books.
That's all you get from me, Hawaii.
Let's see what else is down here that I can steal.
Malik, you were right. Tong is helping Van Bruggen. He stashed him in the Alice Garden pods.
Oh yeah, there's the vent.
Thought as much. A hacker who knows his way around
Isn't
corporate
Van
firewalls would
Bruggen
make a valuable
black?
asset for the triads. I'm at the pods myself,
I
Jensen.
don't
Want me to run
He's,
interference?
yeah, he's got like
No,
that
Don't put yourself
Jamaican
at risk.
accent,
I'm
doesn't
heading
he?
there now.
So he's like a Jamaican with a European name hiding somewhere in China?
Sure, why not?
It's the future! Where vents are the size of a man.
Yeah, and you never make any noise by walking around through them.
Whoa,
Hello?
I've never
In
been
the-
here.
Darkness of the far future, there more air is needed inside of nightclubs. You need cubic
Ooh,
made a
meters of
fire
air coming
upgrade.
in at all times, or else everyone suffocates.
So Tong runs a hostel on the side?
Yes.
Oh.
I actually knew that existed because I had trouble hacking the thing downstairs for Malik's quest. So
Huh,
I
you
poked
can't even
around,
use this
like,
door?
the-
Oh, yes you can.
I poked around for a few square miles looking for anything that could give me an edge. I was all out of hack gear.
Oh, exit to sewers. That's not where I wanted to go. Damn you, loading screen!
So now we have the location of the guy that we're looking for. The guy who was eavesdropping on all of our...
Guy who
the
made
plot here.
The one guy shoot himself in the face, and we didn't even realize it until...
Right, and he had installed some sort of spy program into the Seraph Industries computer network and was watching all our network traffic.
Previously, on Spoiler Warning.
Actually, I don't even know if we ever mentioned that before.
Well, now they're all cut off, if they didn't know that.
Exactly. Everyone wins. And we didn't even have to pay attention to things that came out of our own mouths.
What were you saying, Rutscar?
Huh?
Access granted.
Who are you people? What?
I actually don't remember what I was talking about. What are you doing, Josh?
God damn it. No, open again. Now closed.
You hack a computer, but
Oh,
you find
God!
the doors themselves to be beyond
So this
your
is where I
abilities.
am.
I'm actually amazed that there are two different, like, desktop screens, a green one and an orange one. I don't remember that. That is, like, shaking my worldview of this game.
That's how it is in the dystopian future. People can only afford 2 desktop wallpapers. Whatever happened to the concept of desktop wallpapers anyway?
I think that would be a nice touch in games like this, is if you could see the various desktop I mean, who sees desktop wallpapers these days? Everybody just runs everything full screen. But it would be a nice touch if you walked up to a computer and you saw something of the personality of the person who owns the computer. Like, you go into Windmill's secret lair and there'd be a bikini girl on his screen, or you go into the office and there's cat pictures on the screen. I think there could be there's a lot of fun that could have been had there.
Yeah, and the game is so good at, like, having those little touches that add flesh and character to a setting that I think that could have been well within their reach.
You just know you're going to walk into, you know, Pritchard's office and find a bunch of furry art on his desktop.
That would have been perfect. Furries, yes.
You might want to go over to the bar and
Furry
order
art of
yourself a
anime
drink
characters.
before you do.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
side
Bobby will
quests.
have something for you.
It could have been like
But I already
a
ordered all
furry
the drinks.
The
It could
real
have been a wink
bartender,
at
that
the
is.
player, and it would have been like a furry of JC Denton.
Please don't ever say that again.
Kinda hard to tell one lackey from another in here.
Are you kidding? I'm drawing that
Doesn't
right
look
now.
alike to me.
Watch it,
What does a
Qui-Gon.
JC Denton furry
You
look
wouldn't want
like?
to die before you get a chance
I
to cause
you'll
a
find out in a minute.
high-tech
As soon as I'm done.
I call out and invoke the spirit
No!
of the horrible,
No!
horrible artists
No!
who populate our comments
No!
to bring
Not
this
happening.
to me.
No! No! I'm
Deliver it
deleting you,
unto
Rutscar,
mine
and you are
email
deleting.
inbox.
You don't exist
at
anymore.
Rutskarn, RUTSKARN, at chocolatehammer.org. Yes, that's Rutskarn at chocolatehammer.org.
Looks like Tong's running a nice operation
For
here.
those
Oh, I
of you
live
playing
here.
Did you
along
say
at home,
Charlotte
Because a
Hammer?
suspicious man might not appreciate
for those of you playing along at home, what happened
Might also wonder what kind
is
of
over the
job
past
he's handed
week.
off to strangers.
Last week,
But all right, I'll
Rutskarn
bite.
made the joke
What are you
of
offering?
I got
the cop saying you have the right to remain
Trouble is, none of my
aroused, and so
usual
somebody
guys are
made a
available,
picture
and this
of JC Denton
It involves
in,
me.
I think it was a tiger
Someone
stripe
who owes Tom
thong,
operation, he has some money.
holding open his
Getting
trench
out of those
coat,
proving
saying
to be
those very words.
difficult. It's a dirty
And
job.
Rutskarn, being
Pays
the
well.
evil bastard that he is, forwarded it to the rest of us. So
Tell me more.
thank
I live
you.
for these moments.
That's
This
what I
man
like
is
to
my
hear.
Not
personal
me.
hero.
I have yet to
Woman,
see that,
Jaya,
actually.
She's a broker.
Yeah, what was
Oh,
up
I
with that? I
told-
noticed you.
I told somebody to.
But without the right
No, I told
skills,
somebody to forward to Chris because I
her
didn't know Chris'
business
email
wasn't doing
address.
so well. So we helped her out.
Yeah, but see,
Gave
I
her a nice
like
social
Chris,
enhancement
so I
operation,
didn't.
So she could understand her client's needs.
Oh, this is where that
Now,
shady
it's
that
time
shady
to
bartender
tell us what's
dude is
due.
asking me to do a
But she
job
says
for
she
him.
won't.
I really just
So
kind of want
basically you
to
want me
punch
to
this
be
guy
your
out for
collector.
asking.
Yes, but it's not as
And
simple
also
as
'cause he
that.
kind of looks
The
like a
girl's gone
monkey.
into hiding and thinks we won't
It's how his
find
hair
her.
is spiked.
But she also took her phone and computer
his
along
ears.
to keep her business alive.
Not very smart. Assuming you've got
And his
the equipment
permanent
to track
grin.
those.
We don't exactly. But we know someone who does. And that's where you come in.
You know, looking at this, last week somebody mentioned that their heads are too small for their bodies. And I thought, that's not the case. But now I can't help seeing that all the time. Everybody's head looks too small.
Noticed that. Everyone has the shoulders of a linebacker in this game.
In the Yuzhou district.
And the head of a
Oh my
and
god,
the head
it's
size
Gears
of a
of
child.
Deus Ex.
Fancy augs of yours? I'll upload the coordinates and then contact you.
Yes, they've all got children's head on adult shoulder.
Like, it doesn't look as bad from this distance, but if you're like actually talking to them, it looks terrible.
I don't know that it looks terrible so much as unsettling. And I never ever saw it until somebody mentioned it, and now I can't unsee it.
It is weird that for an RPG with so much talking, there's really virtually no effort in the lip syncing whatsoever. They just sort of mime facial movements.
Yeah, except for the boss conversations, but
It is true, although I wonder if that's a cost-cutting measure, because lip syncing has always been really tricky. I've never had to do it myself, so I'm going on just stuff I've picked up. So maybe if somebody works in the industry, they can correct me. But I believe lip syncing is fairly time-consuming. It's not like it happens automatically. You've got to set it up.
I got what you need.
And heaven knows, this game's had enough like costs and time constraints placed on it because it's got so much little detail in it.
And I would rather have this than have like a BioWare convert. We're dumping on BioWare a lot, and I like. Or I did like BioWare, so I don't want to use them as the whipping boy, but I'm mentioning them a lot because they have a lot of conversation in their game, or, more than most other games. But they've got less than this game, but they've got better lip syncing. I would rather have more dialogue and less perfect lip syncing than having all dialogue trees,
Makes me poor. Deal with
be
you, no
kind of
fun.
linear. And more repeated lines, but have everything perfectly lip syncing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get worse than Oblivion, where you both had awful lip syncing and the most atrocious approach to human interaction
Yes.
there's ever been.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and the Elder Scrolls games have never exactly excelled at conversation. Even at its best, the conversations in Elder Scrolls games are very boiled down, very schematic. I agree to do this quest for you. I don't want to do this quest for you.
Well, I mean, in Oblivion, you had that stupid wheel, and then they got rid of that and sort of switched to the New Vegas style dice roll for Skyrim, and that doesn't seem to be any better.
Well, actually, New
Clinic,
Vegas was
come
better.
back
New
to
Vegas
me.
just has it as a flat thing, yes or no, which I think is perfect. But yeah, the die roll, it doesn't work at all. Well, what actually, I don't want to start talking about Skyrim too much, but this is a quick point. What actually bothered me in Skyrim is how tricky it is to level up speech. There's no way to do it directly as
Oh yeah.
Just sell.
Don't even
heaps
get
of things.
Seamus started on that.
Yeah,
This was how all the conversations after Seamus got Skyrim went. Man, I'm trying to level up my speed. So what I did was I went and I made like 500 of the cheapest things I could make and sold them, and I leveled up half a level in speech.
Lim International welcomes you. You are
Yeah.
a client? Select what you want from computer.
Is Lim Clinic's logo really, we're going to take our plus and put it inside of your plus?
Yes, that is it. That is Limb Clinic's logo.
You're very welcome, sir.
Hope they buy you a drink first.
Yeah, that's my first instinct when I look at that isn't plus. It's one prong flanked by two other prongs, inserting itself somewhere.
We're going to insert things somewhere.
You put my hypostim in your praxis.
What would we ever do without you, Rutskarn? I can't imagine. Maybe we'd be like a respectable show.